All right, you ready? What's up guys, Colton here with Town & Country TV, TC Customs. Today we're going to talk about this Outer Banks Bronco.
TC Customs is having a Christmas sale where you can get wheels and lift kits for up to 15% off. Visit TCcustoms.com for more information.
So the first thing that you're probably going to notice about this Bronco is it has quite a squat on it. And this is our first Bronco that we've actually did a squat style lift on. And I'm just kidding, that's not what's going on here. Let me actually get into this. So this vehicle was bought at a different dealership. This customer took this specific Bronco to a local installer. Well, I don't know if they didn't know how to read directions, didn't know what was going wrong, but they actually installed this lift very wrong, as you can tell. It is not supposed to sit like this. This is a Rough Country 3.5-inch lift kit, and they pride themselves on the fact that it makes this thing sit level. And this thing is not level by any means at all. I mean, you can just see kind of the issues. You can see that the back's real low, the front's real high. You've got this upper control arm that's touching the spring. It's so flexed out already. And what we're gonna actually do is we're gonna fix this for this customer. I think that there's one thing that you should always take into consideration, and that's who's gonna install your lift kit. This customer called us and said that they weren't able to align it, and they wanted us to align it. Well, when it got here, I said, this seemed to look quite right. So we pulled it up on the rack, and our techs took a quick look at this thing and actually noticed that it was installed improperly. Yeah, so once we actually got it in the air, our techs noticed that they'd actually put the front spacer on the back and the back spacer on the front. And that's kind of what ended up achieving this squat look. It looks super goofy. Especially on stock wheels. That's one thing to do a squatted vehicle and have some nice set of wheels on it. Maybe that kind of makes up for a little bit, but this thing is just squatted, stock wheels, tons of wheel gap. It is just it's definitely a mistake, and we're here to fix this for this customer, and we want to take care of them. All right guys, here it is. We have got this Bronco fixed up and looking awesome. So originally we were just going to take care of getting that squat eliminated, putting this lift kit on correctly. As you saw earlier, it wasn't quite put on right. We actually got with a customer. He said he actually had wheels and tires for it. So we got him to bring those on over, and we got those sewn on for him because we definitely wanted to let this thing leave complete. We wanted it to be completely done with the wheels, tires, and the lift so we get the full effect of what's going on. And like you can see, this is an awesome stance. This thing's real tall. It's got a lot going on. This thing is really mean. This is a set of tires that we don't normally do. These are the Yokohama Geolandar XMT, so they are a mud terrain. They are very aggressive looking, as you can tell. Surprisingly, these things ride really well. They are noisy, but they actually ride really, really smooth. I would not hesitate to recommend this tire as a mud terrain to anybody just because of how awesome this thing rides. You can kind of take a look down the side of this thing as well. It doesn't have a huge aggressive stance. It's not sticking out super far. It is a 20/9 with a positive 20 offset. These are 13.5-inch wide tires as well. So this is a very wide tire. This is the biggest tire we have put on anything lower than an F250. I think it really worked out well though. It definitely completes this thing and makes it look mean and big. This is the Rough Country 3.5-inch lift kit we have here. If you look on their website, this is not a tire size they recommend actually. They normally recommend the 35/1250. Now this is a 38/1350 again. It's not a size I recommend either. You're gonna see in just a second why. Both front and rear crash bars have been removed so that these can fit. But let me hop in here and show you where we kind of run into the issue at. And as you should be able to see there, it should be touching that rear mount point for that crash bar. That is something that we didn't feel comfortable cutting out, so we did leave that in there. Now this only does rub at very full lock. As you can tell, once I start kind of rolling back just a little bit, it's off of it. It doesn't take very much to get it away from rubbing, but it does rub at full lock for sure. So as you can see here, this 38/1350 fits in this wheel well. I wouldn't say it's the greatest fit. As you can tell, you get into any kind of flexing situation, and since the suspension actually points kind of forward, when you go up, the whole rear end's gonna come up as well and probably gonna touch that. I think the best fit for this is actually going to be a 37/1250. Again, these fit. You're not gonna do any crazy off-roading with it, but it does fit. But overall, this turned out to be a very good looking vehicle. It is an Outer Banks, so you got the painted fender flares, you got the painted door handle, and it kind of lends towards a higher trim level look. It looks really classy, but also it looks mean. I'm really happy with how this turned out, and I'm happy that the customer was able to help us out with this. They actually wanted us to mention on this Cahaba Auto Brokers was the ones that actually brought us this to take care of this, get it fixed up, and get it handled for them so that they can take it home and enjoy it. But yeah, if you like seeing this stuff, make sure you like, comment, subscribe. That way you don't miss a thing.